Hey everyone, welcome back to Joy at Work. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're safe and sound wherever you might be. There's a lot going on in the world, and I just hope that you're taking care of yourself. It's April 1st, 2022, which makes it April Fool's Day. And this isn't a video that's going to try and fool you, even though I thought about doing that. But this is a video that's really going to encourage us to stop fooling ourselves. Yeah, stop fooling ourselves. So often we tell ourselves stories, we fool ourselves because there's a bit of comfort in denying reality. But in denying reality, we actually fool or deceive ourselves, and that's not a good place to be. And that's what a lot of this channel has been about, peeling back the layers of the onion to show to us, to make visible to us how we can find joy at work. But the biggest challenge I come across when I talk to people is they're unable to find joy at work because they don't believe they are responsible for finding joy at work. They believe that they're people in positions of power, they're leaders, executives who have this responsibility. And this is something that we have taught ourselves. In fact, many leadership books, hey, I wrote one myself, offer, leaders as saviors, messiahs, people who come and make sure everything goes well. In fact, I've heard people say that everything rises and falls with leadership. And I have a big problem with that because it's part of us fooling ourselves. Now, I'm not suggesting that the work of a leader isn't important. We have leaders in society, and their work's always going to be important in society, in the business place, wherever we find ourselves. On the football field, we have leaders, and so leaders have an important role. But we all, each one of us, each individual, has a huge role in co creating the experiences we want to have. And that's why we shouldn't lie to ourselves. That's why we shouldn't deceive ourselves. That's why we should not fool ourselves with thinking that is not helpful. For example, if you work in a place where you cannot say no, then saying yes means very little. I mean, what else would you say? If you cannot say no to people with maybe more authority or more power in the org, if you cannot legitimately say no, if you haven't come to the place where you could say no and be comfortable with the consequences, because I'm not suggesting that our actions are consequence free. I'm suggesting that we need to be responsible for our actions and understand the consequences that come with them. But if we have not developed the courage to say no, then we're denying ourselves the reality that our yes really means very little in those situations. If we don't recognize that we are part of creating the experience we belong to, then we're not telling ourselves the whole truth. When we decide to stay in a place, in a workplace that gives us no meaning and fulfillment, and yet we complain about the place every single day, we're fooling ourselves because we're saying that I'm complaining about this place, but I won't leave. Well, maybe we really want to stay. And some people are going to say, well, there's so many reasons why I can't leave. And I hear you, but then that's a choice we've made. So we need to understand that we're making these choices and not act like these are choices we are not making. It's important, in my view, that we honestly assess what we're doing, where we are. It's important that we think about what matters most to us. What's our values? What are we going to stand up for? How are we going to show up? Where's courage? Where are we going to have the courage to speak out? These things are very important and they're not consequence free. As I've said in many videos, all actions have consequences, some pleasurable and some not. But when we know what the consequences might be, then we are acting decisively and we can do what we want to do. So it's important on this April Fool's Day for us to pause and ask ourselves individually, am I fooling myself? Why am I not experiencing joy at work? What things are getting in the way and what can I do about it? And then maybe when we're honest with ourselves, we can do something different. So, on this April Fool's Day, please let's stop fooling ourselves. Thank you. See you around. Bye.